Are you thinking about moving to Florida, but you're not really sure? Well, today is part 2 of what areas to avoid, so stick around. What's up, everybody? It's April Laura, your Florida realtor, and today I am doing a part 2 series of places to avoid. I'm going to guide you as to the areas that I know, and even though it is titled places to avoid, I'm really kind of showing you what the areas are like. So I hope that you enjoy, and this helps guide you and helps educate you on our areas if you're looking to move here. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know everything there is about working, eating, sleeping, playing, and living in Florida, then make sure you tap that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you're notified every time I do a new video, because it's pretty much all I talk about. I absolutely love helping people relocate here. My team and I have specialized in it, and we get calls, text messages, and emails every single day, and we absolutely love it. And we can't help you unless you give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, somehow get in touch with us, because we've got your back when you're moving to Florida. Now, let's go check out these areas. So today we're going over the second part of the county, right? The north part. Last week I did from Boca Raton up to about West Palm Beach, and I didn't want to leave you hanging because I actually sell throughout the county and into Port St. Lucie and all the way down to Broward, and I actually have agents everywhere in Florida. So I can help you anywhere, but today we are going over the rest of Palm Beach County from West Palm north and out to the west to give you a better idea of where you should drive, where you should look at, a little bit more detail about the areas that you may have heard of. You can figure out whether this is the right area for you to move into. Maybe you're coming here with a family, maybe you are a single, maybe you're a retired person, or maybe you're just buying a second home. Whatever it is that you need, I'm hoping that I give you a little bit better idea of the lay of the land and the areas that you should explore. I get calls and text messages and emails about areas because there are a lot of people that are relocating here that either have never been here or the last time they were here was 10, 20 years ago. So the land and our environment, everything has changed. You know, if you haven't been here for 10, 15, 20 years, there's been a lot of development. You definitely need to know what's going on, what areas to focus on, and also if you are a family or if you are a single or if you're a retired person, whatever it is, the best thing for me is to be able to talk to you and get an idea of exactly what you're trying to accomplish. There's not a straight line across the board as to what people are looking for and how I can help them. I get emails sometimes with just some questions, and it's not always like a clear-cut answer because usually I have missing information that I need in order to give you really good answers. Email me, call me, text me, but the best thing is either a phone call and what I like best is doing a Zoom call, because it's like a proper buyer's consultation and I can get all your details. I could focus that appointment on you and you can do the same for me, and then we can kind of map out a plan to help you achieve your real estate goals. So without further ado, let's get into the map. Okay, so here we go. We ended up last time in the West Palm Beach area. So I'll just go over really quick. West Palm Beach is the downtown city, right? And then right across the way is Palm Beach Island. Two totally different things. When people say I'm going to Palm Beach, they should be talking about the island of Palm Beach, which is right here. This island of Palm Beach, it is where a lot of wealthy people live. It is not for your average everyday folk. Of course, you can go out there, you can go to the restaurants, you can drive around. It's absolutely beautiful. But West Palm Beach and Palm Beach are two totally different things. So West Palm Beach is like the downtown area of Palm Beach County, really. It's like one of the main cities. And it's really come a long way. When I moved here in 2003, there was like nothing in downtown. I couldn't stand it. And there was like Clematis Street, and they had a lot of trouble like on Clematis Street and in, what is it called? City Walk. It's the outdoor mall area. It's now called like Rosemary Square, and it's really beautiful now. But I remember when they first built it, they were having like a lot of trouble with like, I think like gang stuff, but that was like many years ago, like 15, 20 years ago. So now downtown has been really revitalized. The city is continuing to put a lot more, like just tons and tons of money to develop it. So I have even noticed people never looked kind of like in this area, and now investors are coming in, right? So that's not necessarily like for people that relocate, okay, in this area. But there have been a lot of investors that know the area or that are coming up from the south, you know, have been looking for deals. And these are, you know, older rundown homes that they're now investing in, and in hopes that West Palm Beach becomes like, they're talking about West Palm Beach becoming like the next Fort Lauderdale. So I think it's got a little bit of ways to go, but right here, this is the main drag, which is Okeechobee Road, and that goes from the east all the way out to the west. So that is a very busy road. There's lots of like retail, shopping, lots of like car dealerships and all kinds of stuff up and down that road. It's kind of a busy road. It's very like a city road, right? So you can take that down. Another road to take when you're going east-west that's close by Okeechobee is Southern Boulevard, or 98. We call it Southern Boulevard. It's a really nice road because it's more like a highway that goes east-west. It doesn't have a lot of stoplights like Okeechobee does. Okeechobee has a lot of stoplights, so it'll take you sometimes a long time to go east and west on here. You can go all the way out to Royal Palm Beach, Loxahatchee, but Southern is one of the roads that'll actually take you out to Westlake. So if you're coming out to Westlake, you can take Okeechobee, but again, you're going to have a lot of stoplights. But if you're in this area, then you would. Otherwise, you take Southern and then you make a right here and go into the Westlake area. Now you can see Westlake is pretty far. It's like one of the furthest cities besides Arden. Arden is actually just a tiny bit further, but it's a straight shot from Southern, and it's right outside of the Wellington area. They're calling it the Wellington, you know, area. If you live there, then your children will also go to the Wellington schools. So it's a little bit further, but then Westlake is, you have to take this road a little bit north to go to Westlake, and it's a great area, new construction. It's basically the newest city in Palm Beach County, so very desirable for new construction at like the best price in Palm Beach County. So you should check that out, and I have lots of contacts there. I've sold a lot in Westlake and in Arden, and happy to show you any of those areas. Up here, well, actually we're kind of skipping Riviera Beach, but this is North Lake, so I just want to let you know that North Lake you could also take on the northern end and go south to Westlake. So if you live in Westlake, you can go down to Wellington, and there's a nice mall there and all kinds of retail shopping, movie theaters, all kinds of stuff. Or if you want to go north, you can go into Palm Beach Gardens and North Palm by taking North Lake. And Palm Beach Gardens also has a really nice mall. Those are kind of the options right now, because Westlake right now is just homes. They don't have a lot of retail. They don't have barely any retail, and they don't have a town center. They're building a town center, and from what I understand, the town center has been postponed because of what happened with the pandemic and the 2-year COVID shutdown. So now I had just heard that they do have some bigger box stores or what have you, to like the anchor stores that they have to secure. Retail is starting to contract with them. So once they have all those contracts, obviously then they can break ground and start building. So that's in the works. But right now there's only schools and like a small shopping plaza and like a 7-Eleven gas station. There is like an emergency room for out there. So that's good. You also have Palm Beach State out here for college, but it's growing. And then all of this area around it, like around here, is like called the acreage. It's been around for a really long time. People call me on it sometimes because they want land and they want to rebuild. You know, the acreage, you can find some nice homes, really nice homes, and then you can find some that are just like people not taking care of their homes or their yards, chain link fences, unpaved roads. So when I first moved to Palm Beach County, my husband at the time wanted us to move to the acreage, and I was like, no way. I was moving up from Miami, and it just, for me, it was so remote. There were unpaved roads. I wasn't used to that type of environment, and I didn't want to get used to it, and I wanted to be more in like a suburban city feel for the kids, lots of activities, you know, schools very close, and A-rated schools. That's what I wanted. So we found in Wellington, and we were very, very happy. I know there's some people that might want that area, but I'm just trying to describe what the acreage is. And most of the people that I do show that are relocating here, that are similar to when I was moving into Palm Beach County with, you know, young children and a whole family, and I needed an area that supported the way that I was living at that time. And that's a lot of the people that I do help. That is the acreage. Is this information helpful? Please drop a comment below. Let me know if you like these type of videos. Are there any areas that I haven't covered that you want to know more about? Let me know in the comments below, and let's get back to it. When you go north from West Palm, you go through an area called Riviera Beach. This is Blue Heron, and Blue Heron takes you over to Singer Island, which is very beautiful. You can see the island of Palm Beach, goes to about here. This is like Singer Island, really nice. You can find some old style Florida homes on the water here. They're not cheap, but they're really pretty. They're either redone or you have to redo them, or they've been knocked down, and you'll find those beautiful like modern masterpieces. And again, they come with a price tag. There's also a lot of really beautiful condominiums. So waterfront condos, most of them are going to be on the older side, but there are a few new developments that are really nice. Riviera Beach is one of those areas in Palm Beach County that it's like starting to gentrify. D.R. Horton actually they completed, it was a while ago. It was like kind of during COVID that they were selling, but it was like a little townhome, or maybe it was single family homes right off of US 1 that I was shocked, because this is an older area with a lot of, kind of rundown style homes and things like that. So I know that that city also has a lot of development plans. And again, they are like, it's gentrifying. It's just starting to kind of turn over. So maybe a good place to invest. I know some investors that are definitely picking up duplexes and single family homes and things like that, for investments for rentals. So Lake Park, actually there is a really nice development called Nautilus 2020, which is a brand new luxury condominium waterfront in Lake Park. So Lake Park is a tiny little area that most people don't really ask me about, that are relocating here, because they don't really know about it. It can be cute, but it's still got some development to go. But I think with the addition of some of these developments, it's going to increase that area. And then you go into like the North Palm area. So this is kind of like old Florida. A lot of people that like to have like a small single family home, old style Florida, and then they can have like a boat, their own boat, kind of parked on the side of their house or in the back. That's a huge area for that. And then you go into Palm Beach Gardens. Palm Beach Gardens is, a really nice area. It's very beautiful. It's like well manicured. And what I like about Palm Beach Gardens is that it's not that far away from West Palm. It's pretty much butts up to Jupiter. So if you live in Jupiter or Palm Beach Gardens, you're going to be in that area. You're going to be interchangeable with those two areas. Now, Avenir is a huge development right out here. There's several different builders that are in there, and it is kind of far west. It's probably a good 35 minutes, down here to the ocean in the downtown, but it is new construction, that's what a lot of people are looking for. There's also something else called Artistry, which I think it's like right in here somewhere. I know it's up against like either the Turnpike or I-95. I've been there recently, but I just can't remember. I think it's I-95, but the price point goes way up because you're so much closer to everything, and it's all about location. Juno Beach is a small little beach town. It's old Florida. I love it. And then there's Jupiter, which I absolutely love. I love Jupiter because you can see on the map here, there's all kinds of waterways. So if you do like to boat, and even if you're not into boating, like a lot of people move there and then they buy a boat. I have a really good friend that he really wasn't into boating, but he moved to Jupiter. They happened to get a beautiful townhouse on the Intracoastal, and they got a boat because there was a sandbar that was right in front of their house, and they just couldn't handle just staring at it and all the boaters and everybody having fun all the time without being on the sandbar themselves. So they bought a boat. They're now boaters. They got a small boat. What's really cool is that even if you're not a great, super seasoned, skilled boater, because you do have to be careful, there's a lot of small waterways and you can really stay on the Intracoastal, which makes it much easier for boaters. If you go out in the ocean and go in and out of the inlet, that can be tricky depending on what the ocean is doing. But if you stay on the Intracoastal Waterway, it's just a much easier way of boating for not that experienced boaters. And then there's like I said, all these little waterways. So you can grab a little home or big home on a waterway and then get out to the Intracoastal Waterway, which is awesome. And that's like what a lot of people do. There's lots of sandbars. There's lots of fun to be had in Jupiter on the water. Even if you don't have a boat, lots of restaurants, lots of dining, lots of fun on the water. There's also Jupiter Island, which is, really amazing. This is Jupiter Island. And everybody just that's where all of the stars and pro golfers, pro athletes, musicians have their homes. And they're very, very, very very beautiful. That's it for Palm Beach County. Tequesta is a really cool area, but that's really not technically Palm Beach County. The only thing I also want to show you is Port St. Lucie, because I do sell a lot in Port St. Lucie. It's 8:30 in the morning when I started this, and I did do a Google Map drive from Port St. Lucie to West Palm Beach, and it was 50 minutes this morning. So that probably is accounting for, you know, the morning traffic. So if you do have to commute, just know that it's going to be a drive. A lot of people want to say that West Palm Beach is like, oh, it's like 25 minutes away. It's not 25 minutes away. It's like a good 30 to 40 minutes. And if you're in traffic, it's going to be more than that. Like right now in the morning during rush hour, it's 50 minutes. So all of the new construction in Port St. Lucie is kind of just like right here, like kind of the west of 95 area. That's like kind of where the Traditions is. All in this area, you can find smaller developers that have been buying up plots of land and they're putting new construction homes on it without any HOA. So we have lots of options here, and we have also some resales that you can find maybe up to maybe 5 years old. So a very barely lived in house, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. So there's lots of options here, whether you want HOAs with full amenities, all ages, or 55 and older, or you want just a neighborhood that has a newer home or an older home with no HOA, and you can do what you like, maybe park your boat in your yard. The lots in Port St. Lucie, at least the ones that are outside of the HOAs, those are usually a nice size lot compared to what you're gonna get in the Palm Beach County area. So I hope this helps you guys. If you need any driving directions, if you want to see anything, you have any other questions, make sure you look in my description box and definitely book a call, give me a call, send me a text. But in order to find that perfect place that you may be thinking of or wanting to go see, or maybe you just have questions on something that I didn't cover, make sure you give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, somehow get in touch with us, because I've got your back when you're moving to Florida. And until next video, I'll catch you later. If you're looking, if you're, either way, is this how, well, let's redo that again.